Krishna all. Welcome to Shubhamangalarati Japa session. And now we will start with the short Srimad Bhagavatam class. We will share my screen. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, verse number 4. निजाग्रह ओजसा वीरः कलिं दिग्विजये कवचित् नृपालिङ्गधारणं शूद्रं गानन्तं गोमिथुनं पदाम्. Word-to-word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nijagraham, sufficiently punished. Ojasa, by prowess. Viraha, valiant hero. Kalim, upon Kali, the master of the age. Digvijaya, on his way to conquer the world. Kavachit, once upon a time. Dripalinga Dharam, one who passes in the dress of a king. Shudram, the lower class. Gantam, hurting. Go Mitunam, a cow and a bull. Pada, on the leg. Translation. Once, when Maharaj Parikshit was on his way to conquer the world, he saw the master of Kali Yuga, who was lower than a Shudra, disguised as a king and hurting the legs of a cow and bull. The king at once caught hold of him to deal sufficient punishment. Purport. The purpose of kings going out to conquer the world is not for self aggrandizement. Maharaj Parikshit went out to conquer the world after his ascendance to the throne, but this was not for the purpose of aggression on other states. He was the emperor of the world, and all small states were already under his regime. His purpose in going out was to see how things were going on in terms of the godly state. The king, being the representative of the Lord, has to execute the will of the Lord duly. There is no question of self-aggrandizement. Thus, as soon as Maharaj Parikshit saw that a lower class man is in the dress of a king was hurting the legs of cow and bull, at once he arrested and punished him. The king cannot tolerate insults to the most important animal, the cow, nor can he tolerate disrespect to the most important man, the Brahmana. Human civilization means to advance the cause of Brahminical culture and to maintain it. Cow protection is essential. There is a miracle in the milk, for it contains all the necessary vitamins to sustain human psychological conditions for higher achievements. Brahminical culture can advance only when man is educated to develop the quality of goodness, and for this there is a prime necessity of food prepared with milk, fruits and grains. Maharaj Parikshit was astonished to see a black Shudra dressed like a ruler was mistreating a cow, the most important animal in the human society. The age of Kali means mismanagement and quarrel, and the root cause of all mismanagement and quarrel is that the worthless men with the modes of lower classmen who have no higher ambition in life come to helm of the state management. Such men at the post of king are sure to first hurt the cow and Brahminical culture, thereby punishing all society towards hell. Maharaj Parikshit, trained as he was, got the scent of this root cause of all quarrel in the world. Thus, he wanted to stop it in the very beginning. So, I would like to offer my prayers before I would share any points on today's verse. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we'll be discussing fourth verse from first canto, chapter 16. So in today's verse, we can see has to in the purpose, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned some very important points, and I've tried to take some of the points as per my understanding and whatever I've heard from senior Vaishnavas. So I request all the Vaishnavas to please bless me so that I speak on Srimad Bhagavatam verse, share certain points for my personal purification and for the pleasure of my Guru Maharaj. So in today's verse, here it is starting with how, even in the translation, we can see Srila Prabhupada has given that the Kali Yuga, the master, he saw that the master of Kali Yuga, who was lower than Shudra, had disguised as a king, hurting the legs of cow and bull. So here we can see as to how Kali Yuga has started. In my previous verse also, we had discussed about I had shared certain points on the symptoms of Kali Yuga, and here Maharaj Parikshit is seeing Kali, who is like a Shudra, but he is dressed like a king, right? So here, what can we understand is that it was the beginning of Kali Yuga. In the last lines of the purport, Srila Prabhupada is telling that the Kali Yuga had just begun, and Parikshit Maharaj could see Kali Purusha, and how he and the description of Kali Purusha is also given as to how he was a dark black person, but he was dressed as a king. So that what is this entire thing depicting to us is that Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, Srila Prabhupada has given a lecture on the same verse, and even there he's telling that he has used a specific words. I'll just in the word to word in the shloka it is telling us Nripa Linga Dharam Shudram. That means he is a Shudra, but he is dressed like a king. So we can see even in the present day how the symptoms of Kali can be seen in the you know how these politicians, they depict themselves to be king, they dress themselves as king, they pose themselves to be the rulers, but what are they in turn? Srila Prabhupada tells he is also a Shudra, right? They do not have any Brahminical culture, or they do not possess the qualities of a ruler, and they're acting like a Shudra. They're just posing, they're just giving a picture to the they're giving a picture to the others that they are just looking like king, they're telling that they will rule the people. So how, the government tells the government is for the people, by the people, and every statement that they make. But what are we able to see here? That they're trying to act like kings, but in term it is Shudra. Srila Prabhupada tells that Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha. That means in this Kali Yuga, everybody are Shudras, and they're just trying to, dress themselves as a king, as a Brahmin, as a Kshatriya, or as a as a Brahmin, and they're trying to give a different picture. And we can see the politicians are trying to do the same thing. What do they tell when, when they have to win the elections? I think I have narrated this story before, where there was a politician, and he comes and he tells, please do vote for me. And for the entire tenure of 5 years, he doesn't do anything. And then again he comes and he tells that, please do vote for me. This time I'm going to serve your people. And the general people ask, the public asks him, why should we vote you? Because the last tenure that we voted, you did not do anything. Then the politician tells, yes, correct. That is because I was trying to settle down. And then he tells that this time, if you vote, I will surely serve your people and make your lives better. And this time the people fall for it, and again they vote. And this time also he doesn't do anything, right? What does he do? He looks at, he does, I mean, he does not do anything. And then again, after the tenure of 5 years, he comes back again and he asks the people to vote for him. And the people ask him, what did you do the last time we voted? You did not do anything. From the past 2 years, you're not doing anything. So he tells that, as I told you, the first year I was trying to settle down for myself, my family, and everybody. And then the second year, I was trying to look after my relatives. And then in the third, then he tells that, now see, I've looked after myself, my family, and myself. I've looked after my relatives. Now I don't have anybody. Now you are the only people whom I have left. And this time, if you vote, for sure, I'll make sure that you lead a better life. And I mean, I will form a very nice government. That is how he reassures. And people again, they fall for this politician, and they vote for him, right? So what is it in this Kali Yuga? People are just trying to give a different picture, but their internal intentions are different. So I gave the example of politician. Even this philanthropist, what do they do? Even in Bhakti Shastri, Sundar Nityananda Prabhu, he was mentioning as to how, these philanthropists, they think that money can solve every problem. They think that it is because of money that people are not able to solve their problem. And what do? They go and give a huge sum of money, and they try to solve the problem of the other person. But that is not but what are their internal intentions? It is something different. They're posing something else in front of people, and the internal intentions are different. So if you see, why do people give donations, or why do people try to do charity act? Because if you see, when I was studying company law, so there used to be one activity that a company has to do, that is CSR. Okay, that is that is an act which every company has to do, so that they it is not only that they are taking from the society, it is also that they give back to the society. So that was the main thing. It is corporate social services, responsibility, corporate social responsibility. That is what is CSR activity. So when in the tax law, so if a particular company is contributing to CSR activities, so what does the income tax law tell is that there will be certain amount of tax evasion they can do. That means a certain amount of tax has to not be paid, right? Around some percentage is there, 2.5% the tax has been deducted. So what, why are people doing it? And the company at the end of the year, when they have to put on the chart as to what are all the activities they have done, they mention the CSR activities also that they have done, and they try to post that the company is helping others to grow, and they're being there for others and things like that. But actually, what is the intention behind it is that if the company does not perform these activities, what will happen? They will not be able to save their tax. They have to pay to the government. Their internal intention is that they want to a safe tax, and because of that they are bound to do good to the society. Not that it is their responsibility, not that they are willing to do it. Just because they want to save tax, they are doing it, right? So here, same way, even Kali Yuga, the Kali Purusha is a Shudra. He's doing an act of Shudra. Why is it? Because he is, beating down the cows. He's punishing the cows and the bull. And but what is he doing? He's dressed in a his attire is like a king. So it is the entire picture of Kali is showing this. The Kali Purusha is depicting the symptoms of Kali. So this is how Kali Yuga is. So people will, Prabhupada in the purport, he writes that there will be no Brahminical culture left. The cows will not be protected. The king cannot give proper punishment to the citizens. These are all the symptoms of Kali Yuga. So here the first thing, Kali thing of Kali Yuga, that is the first symptom of Kali Yuga. So if you see, next thing is that here Maharaj Parikshit, he is Shah is doing such an abominable activity that he is punishing the cows and the bull. So, what do we understand by this is that in Kali Yuga, the Brahminical culture is lost, right? So, as soon as Maharaj Parikshit sees that this Kali Purusha is doing such a act, what he does, he immediately punishes Kali Purusha. He takes that immediate action. You can see in the purport, Srila Prabhupada tells that Maharaj Parikshit knew what is the root cause of the quarrel in the world. He wanted to stop it in the very beginning. We can see how Parikshit Maharaj, being the devotee of the Supreme Lord, he is not able to tolerate the violence that is done towards cow. Why is it? Because cows are very dear to Krishna, right? Protection of cow is so important, and that is why when there is even a verse, right, which states Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So who is Govinda? Who gives pleasure to the cows, right? So that is how dear the Brahmanas and the cows are. And Parikshit Maharaj cannot see, that Kali Purusha is harming somebody who is dear to Lord Krishna. So, what is he trying to do? He's trying to see what is the root cause, and he's trying to solve it in the beginning. So, we can see two qualities of Maharaj Parikshit, how he, being a devotee, cannot tolerate violence towards cows and brahmanas. That is the first quality of a devotee. He cannot tolerate violence against somebody who is dear to the Supreme Lord. And as a result, what did Parikshit Maharaj do? When there was violence, he punished immediately. So here we can see now in this Kali Yuga, so even to pass an order to file an FIR or to take up a case, for that to move through the different levels of the court and to reach the Supreme Court, it is taking such a huge amount of time. The people are so imperfect in Kali Yuga, the senses are so imperfect that they're not able to make a right judgment. They're taking years and years to just come to a conclusion as to what punishment should be given. So we can see there are so many rape cases that are happening, and entire legislation is taking such a long time for them to just come to a conclusion as to what punishment should be given to the culprit. So I was going through uh, you know Google, and then I saw that there was one bank case that nearly took 72 years for it to come to a conclusion. And what was the case is that whether the bank should be liquidated or not. The bank was going under some, bankruptcy. They did not have sufficient funds to run the bank. So the decision was whether the bank has to be liquidated or not, and the Supreme Court took 72 years to pass this judgment. But you can see Maharaj Parikshit that as soon as he saw that there is something happening against the Shastras, that this Kali Purusha, he is not, he's harming the cows, he's harming the Gomata. And what did Maharaj Parikshit do? He immediately punished this Kali Purusha. So that is how devotees are. They cannot tolerate any violence towards anything that is dear to Krishna. So it is always, said that a devotee will not react, or he will not get angry if somebody is insulting him. But when somebody insults another devotee, or when somebody insults a devotee's guru, a disciple's guru, that is when the devotees actually get anger, or that is when they speak up. So why is it? It is because they are dear to Krishna, and Maharaj Parikshit is showing the same thing. He is, protecting the Brahmanas, he is protecting the cows, and that is why he took an immediate action. And another thing that we can see is this Gohatya is also it is also a symptom of Kali Yuga. So this, killing of the cows and eating the meat of the cows, all these are symptoms of Kali Yuga. And in a lecture, Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that when he was in Bombay, Juhu is the place where Prabhupada was there, and he was mentioning that they had displayed big billboards that showing a direction to the beef shop. They had mentioned that now beef is available at this place, and they had written the direction and everything. And then Prabhupada sees that there was a Hindu lady, she was walking, and Prabhupada happened to speak to her, and he asked her, "Where are you going?" And she tells that, to the beef shop that has been mentioned. So Prabhupada asked, "You're a Hindu, and are you eating the meat of the cow?" And this woman, she replies that, "Yes, sometimes I eat." So Prabhupada was mentioning how this Kali Yuga is degrading, and people have started killing cows and eating their flesh, eating their meat. Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj was telling, His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj, he was mentioning that a cow is a very auspicious animal, right? So he was mentioning as to how people keep talking about economic development in the society, but Maharaj was telling as to how economic development can happen, and there is a formula that has been given by Krishna, that is Krishi, Goraksha, and then Vanijya. That means you do agriculture, okay, using, so the bulls are used in the the field to plow the land and everything. So that is where the bulls have to be protected. So you do agriculture, and then you do Goraksha. That means you protect the cows, take care of the cows, you feed the cows, you rear the cows, and when this happens, the cows give you sufficient amount of milk. From that you can make butter, ghee, and you sell that. And after that you have economic development, that is vanijya, you have business, right? That is what Nanda Maharaj used to do, right? They were they had 9 lakh cows, and their entire livelihood was dependent on cow, and how nicely Nanda Maharaj used to take care of the cows. So, what is the formula for um, economic development? These days we see the country's GDP is going down, and there is so much pressure on the finance department that they tell that the business have to improve. They come up with various strategies so that the GDP of the country can go right in place. But if you see, how can you increase, how can you go through economic development when you are hurting the cow and not doing protection of the cow? So all this entire thing is a cycle, right? So you have to protect the cows. So only when you protect the cows, only that is when economic development will happen. So Maharaj was telling that these cows, these people are killing the cows, but cow is like a mother. So the biological mother, that is a mother who gives birth to the child, she will feed the baby only up to a certain age, say 1 year or 2 year. So until that age, the mother will feed. But Gomata, she's such an auspicious animal. She's she's like a mother, because for the entire lifetime of a human, she is giving milk for nothing in return. And what are we doing? We are taking milk from the same animal, and we are killing the same animal and eating her meat. So it is as good as killing a mother. And that is why when we do such abominable activity, the country, a nation cannot progress. And that is why you can see in Kali Yuga that the economy of the country is not growing, right? And here, the last point that I will end up with is, there are two things, that is the symptoms of Kali Yuga, and one more thing that Srila Prabhupada mentions is about how the food that we eat helps human civilization, and it has such an important impact that Prabhupada tells that there is a miracle in the milk, for it contains all the necessary vitamins to sustain human psychological conditions. So it is so important that what we eat is what our consciousness is. So it is very important that we take sattvic food. And Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that milk has all the vitamins and minerals, and that is enough to nourish the body. So usually people tell, right, that you don't get enough amount of protein, you have to eat non-veg and all of that. Prabhupada is, going against the statement, and he is telling that you just have to drink milk and it has all the sufficient minerals. So, and how it is so important that what you consume, you are what you consume, right? So what you eat impacts on your consciousness. That is why in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada emphasized so much on prasadam. There are so many pastimes where just by giving out prasadam, people have become devotees. So it was recently Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja, and I was hearing to various pastimes of Guru Maharaj, and Mahavaraha Prabhu, he told a very nice pastime. It was so, heart touching. So once it so happens that Guru Maharaj was traveling on a flight, and what happens is, when Guru Maharaj was traveling, Mahavara Prabhu was with Guru Maharaj, and when they were checking in through the airport, and they had to go they had to see, when they were checking in, and during the checking in process, they saw this Gujarati lady, and she had seen Guru Maharaj before, and she comes to Guru Maharaj, she pays her obeisance, and she offers her respectful obeisance. And when the entire checking in process is over, she comes down to Mahavara Prabhu, and she tells that your Guruji had given me a sweet last time. So when Guru Maharaj had met her last time, she had given a sweet, and that sweet, she had apparently, she went back home and she gave it to her mother. And when she gave it to her mother ate the sweet and she went to bed that night. And this Gujarati lady, she told that she had a dream of Lord Krishna because of that prasadam. And she came to Mahavaraha Prabhu and she told, "Can your Guruji give me the sweet again? I want to give it to my mother, and I also want one. So can I get the sweets again?" And Mahavaraha Prabhu told, "Why not?" And he asked Guru Maharaj for some Mahaprasad, and that lady was given Mahaprasad. So this is how, that small instance, that Guru Maharaj had given a very small piece of sweet barfi to that lady, and that lady's mother had dream of Krishna. So you can see how impactful it is. On what you eat is what your consciousness is. And Mahavara Prabhu was telling how he became a devotee. And when Mahavara Prabhu is from Malaysia, and he was telling when he was about 11, 12 years old, Guru Maharaj had come to Malaysia, and that was the first time he saw Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj gave a class upon what is body, what is soul, and everything. And at the end of the class, Guru Maharaj, they were all very small, small young boys. So Guru Maharaj started distributing this barfi with coconut and jaggery, and with peanut stuffing in it. So when Guru Maharaj was distributing this, Mahavara Prabhu went, he stood in the line, he paid obeisance, and he took the sweet and he ate. Okay, and he liked the sweet so much that he went for the second time. And he kept his hand forward, and again Guru Maharaj gave him prasadam. Again, he paid obeisance. He liked it so much that he went for the third time, and again he received the sweet, and he paid his obeisance. And Mahavara Prabhu was telling as to how that prasadam that he got him to Krishna conscious, got him to very near to Guru Maharaj, so much so that he could serve Guru Maharaj. So these are some of the symptoms that how Kalipurusha is being dressed as a king, and how Gohatya is happening, and how Maharaj Parikshit immediately took action, and he decided to protect the cows. So these were some of the points from today's words. I thank you all for your patient hearing. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patit Pavana Guru Maharaj ki jai. If I have made any mistakes, I request for forgiveness. And if there is anything, any comments, you can please share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhuri. Thank you very much for your wonderful class. We heard so many pastimes and how to drive out Kali Purusha, how Parishit Maharaj has taken a lot of struggle. Let us see how the participants also will respond. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Today's class was
Hare
very
Krishna.
nice. In very aspects, you simply explained how the Kali Yuga is. And I would like to add one point, Mataji. We are in very pathetic situation that even for collecting the donations from the devotee also, we need to tell that according to this act, your tax will be reduced. That one point I had to add, Mataji. But very nice session, Mataji. It was very easy for us to understand this verse. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Very nice class Mataji. How Kali came and Parikshit Maharaj has given Kali is also a place, and how things are going on in Kali Yuga. We are seeing with our own eyes, Mataji. And you told about so many things about Guru Maharaj, about Prasadam and all those things. So nice examples, Mataji. Thanks a lot, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Nice points, Mataji. Here, Prabhupada has made that for the, to develop the good qualities of goodness, very clearly, Prabhupada has written only food prepared with milk, fruits, and grains. There is no other points given, which means it clearly means that food, like Gopal Krishna Prabhu said, that milk from a non-violent process. Prabhu just added a point that it should be the non-violent milk. So if that is there, it's all, everything is taken care, kind of a thing. So nice points. And also in the last paragraph, Prabhupada has mentioned what is the root cause of the mismanagement and quarrel. So really clear problems and solutions are there in this. And thank you for highlighting all those.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I like the way you said all corporates do it only for tax and not because they have any other consciousness, because there is a huge tax they get or benefit or something, or sometimes it's forced upon. Some percentage is there, right? 4% or something of the profits.
2.5%, Prabhu, of the net profits, and now
Okay,
it's gone to
not
5%.
increased? It's gone to 5, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's now 5%.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
So thank you, Mataji. Also bringing up your CA subject into the topic is very much matching. The taxation is the worst thing actually. Especially in the Western countries, there's too much taxation. If they earn 12 lakhs, most of the percentage will go. In India, it is 30%. Am I right?
Yes, Prabhu, there's a flat deduction of 30%.
30%. The foreign countries is much more, I believe. And my known people are residing in New York. For them, rent itself it is around 2 lakhs. So it's unimaginable in India. So this is where Kalipurusha will enter. He is already there among us, and he will make quarrel among us. And within our body, mind, and soul, he creates a lot of disturbances. And for all this, Panacea is chanting the holy name of the Lord and following footsteps of Shira Gurudev, so that though we are in Kali Yuga, but we are untouched with this. Okay, anybody else? Hare Krishna, somebody was trying to speak here.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Very nice class, Mataji, but my takeaway point is about the prasadam, Mataji. Thank you so much for that prasadam importance. By only taking a prasadam, we can purify our heart and connect with the Krishna. So that Mataji has been connected. So that is the reason our senior Vaishnavas will always teach us to importance of prasadam. So garbage in, garbage out. So whatever we take, that will comes out. So that was very clear message which he has provided today, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. We wish to hear more from you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So in the purport also it is mentioned, the king cannot tolerate insults to the most important animal, the cow, nor can he tolerate disrespect for the most important man, the Brahmana. Human civilization means to advance the cause of Brahminical culture. Brahminical culture means also to protect the cows. There it is mentioned Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. Here, Go Raksha, the word is very important. It is not just only, taming the cows. It is not just tending the cows, is not just, but we need to protect also. Similarly, the Brahmanas also to be protected because they are the fine brains and they are the intelligence. And they can give the best suggestion, the best advice to the ruler so that the ruler can follow the suggestion or the advice of a Brahman. And also, as you rightly said, Mataji, Kalau Sudra Sambhavaha means in Kali Yuga everybody is a born Sudra. But Samskaret Bhavad Dvija means by Samskara, mean by taking initiation by a bona fide spiritual master, he can turn into a Vaishnava Brahmana so that he can become the best person for the society, best person for the family. and he is the best person for the Lord also. So now in this, how Parikshit Maharaj received the age of Kali is very important topic. So we can relate to our present day happenings also. Yeah, you have nicely explained how Mahavaraha Prabhu also shared about the prasadam. It's very nice topic. Very Krishna. So anybody else before we wind up the session?